I've been wanting to rant about this for a very long time. Not in the very beginning when YouTube Shorts was first released in September 2020, but as the years continued to go on. Now, I'm not surprised that YouTube started doing YouTube Shorts. It's actually kind of funny that for so long there was no major platform for short form video content after Vine. Like whenever Vine shut down, I don't know when that was exactly, 2015, 2016. It was like a couple year period where there wasn't like a major platform for like fast short content. In a way, it was still kind of YouTube, but it wasn't fun and easy. I mean, you'd see like I remember this classic playlist that has millions of views of basically just a bunch of like meme YouTube videos that are all like 7 seconds long, and it just continues to autoplay. I think that's kind of like the first early days of like people's desire for short form content, at least in that sense. But then TikTok obviously started taking off. It was Musically at first, and then bam. I mean, I was in TikTok like the early days. This was like, I think I downloaded TikTok. This must have been like 2018. I mean, I was in it. TikTok was a completely different place back in those days. But obviously, short form content took off, especially after the pandemic. I mean, that's what really launched it and popularized it. And I don't necessarily blame YouTube at all for trying to compete with TikTok. I actually get their premise for at least being competitive, at least trying to, do something. And from what I've read, like personally, about what the insiders at Google are thinking is they don't want to lose an entire generation of kids or of people that are only consuming short form video content, where you have to scroll and it's algorithmic and it's just kind of all these sorts of things. I get that whole premise. The thing that I am not getting is it's been 4 years, as I just mentioned. We got to kind of move on a little bit here, YouTube, in my opinion. Like, we got to kind of figure out a better balance between YouTube Shorts and YouTube long-form content, because this is clearly not working. It is very apparent for a lot of creators that I talk to, that YouTube Shorts is really hurting long-form content. I've watched a lot of videos about it. Actually, Matt Pack from the Game Theorist, Game Theory, has released a video about this. A lot of people have released videos about this, and I just wanted to give my own 2 cents because, like I said, some got to change. We got to figure out something, because YouTube cannot continue to be this, like, they're trying to do a little bit of both. I don't, what's funny is I don't even mind the fact that long form creators were kind of pushed to the side back in 2020 when they first launched YouTube Shorts. By the way, I want to mention, I'm coming at this from the perspective of someone that not only watches YouTube Shorts, but does my own YouTube Shorts. I have a very successful YouTube Shorts channel. We have over 200,000 subscribers on my YouTube Shorts channel. I appreciate that, but at the end of the day, I'm a long-form creator. I like to make long-form content, and I don't want to be a short creator. Like, I'm okay with continuing to make TikToks and Instagram Reels, which is a whole other subject that I'm going to get into later, and YouTube Shorts. I like that that's definitely an option, and it's clear that YouTube Shorts has helped people, has helped YouTube channels, and if they're a long-form creator, it has helped them in the past, and maybe it's still helping them. It's definitely helping them less now. It used to help maybe a year or two ago. You'd see channels blowing up, long-form creators that were dabbling into YouTube Shorts. It's very apparent it's not working anymore, and I don't know if it's partly just because of the competitiveness, why those creators are not pulling in the same numbers or subscribers to their long-form content, but it's right there. It's right there in front of you that it's not working anymore. So there was a period where it was a pretty good idea, but at this point, it's going too far. For example, figure one. I opened up an incognito browser of this is just a random like trending page. Basically, I'm not signed in or anything like that. We have the top trending page, which I don't look at the trending page. I wouldn't recommend anyone really look at the trending page, but just because it's not always the greatest content. But we've got 2 long-form videos, and then immediately YouTube Shorts here that are being shown. And this might not seem like that big of a deal, right? It's like kind of, yeah, I can see why this doesn't really matter all that much. The problem is that this video is now no longer popped up in that third place position before YouTube Shorts was around, like in whatever 2020 in August, or a month before they actually rolled out. I don't know when they started putting this YouTube Shorts shelf here on the trending page, but this channel would have at least got the impression. If you don't know impressions are when just you open up a fresh YouTube page and you just see the thumbnail. That's one impression. So obviously people get millions and millions of impressions because with this video, with this webpage right here, this is one impression. This is one impression. And I don't have to touch it. It doesn't have to do the little GIF thing or touching thing. It's just us seeing the image. They know when you see the image, that's adding one impression, one impression, one impression. And the fact is that the YouTube Shorts shelf is really affecting impressions. I don't even know these videos exist because of the shelf here. This is just one very small gripe. Because it's a incognito. Oh, now they are offering things to me. So, but the problem is, it's not just on the trending page. It's literally everywhere. There are so many shelves that continue to push down other videos of long form content. Oh man, I'm getting some like very funny recommendations. So there's already 2 YouTube short shelves, and oh, see, this is a little bit different. That's fine if you're going to advertise the movies and things like that. Here's another example, and I think this is actually the example that's hurting the vast majority of creators. When you search something on YouTube, it's not all topics. It's really going to depend on the topic. But for instance, here we go. We have Minecraft right here. So we have 2 long-form videos. Actually, this is a sponsorship. So this is an ad, basically. We've got 1 long-form video, and then we have YouTube Shorts here. Again, that doesn't seem like a big deal, but for all of these other creators here, this is another YouTube Short. The long-form content is being pushed further and further down in the algorithm. This is another ad and another ad. Look at this. Technically, you do like a whole 2 scrolls. This is a real long-form video by Crafty here. You don't see another long-form video, because this is a short, until here. Because this is another ad. This is a YouTube Short that's popping up in the search engine optimization. Here's another long-form video. Then there's another YouTube Shorts shelf that gets shown. And the problem is, see, here's the thing. There's a whole other argument to be made. I don't even know if I would disagree with this, the way that the Google designers are designing this, if it was for mobile. But why are they doing this when it comes to on desktop? If I'm on my desktop, I'm sorry, I'm not going to watch YouTube Shorts. I don't really know. Maybe people do, and I think I probably have these numbers on my own Shorts channel. But who is watching YouTube Shorts on their desktop? I'll maybe watch like one, but it's really hard to go past one. Same thing, I got to imagine. Same thing if you're like watching, which I do. I watch long-form content on my video game console or my not Pluto TV, my Roku app. You know, like the Roku has like the YouTube app and things like that. When I'm in settings like this and I'm watching like YouTube videos, I do not want to watch shorts like that. That's just a really unpleasant experience. I would be very surprised if anyone disagrees. I'm sure there's some people out there that watch YouTube Shorts on their TV or on their desktop, but it's just it's not a fun experience. It just feels really wonky. I mean, there's a reason why TikTok took off, and it's a mobile thing. Like, short form content is for mobile. So if YouTube only organized their search engine for mobile like this, that's okay. I can't even really complain. But because this is on desktop, like, why are the long-form creators being hurt this much? Because remember that, I guess I should mention that the vast majority of time, the way smaller creators or big creators find new audiences is through the search option. Like people go to YouTube and they search whatever. I want to watch Minecraft. I want to watch cooking videos. I want to watch get ready with me videos or makeup videos, whatever it is. This is the best way to get new viewers to stumble upon your channel. Of course, there are other methods. The browsing features, the suggested thing on the right hand side when you're watching other videos. But search is a big deal, and which while we're in on it, while we're talking about this, sometimes YouTube short shelves even appear on the suggested side. Now, it doesn't appear like it's going to happen here, but it all depends on the topic. Sometimes there's like a YouTube Shorts here while you're watching whatever long form video. See, that again is a little bit too far. I know that YouTube is in like kind of a crazy scrambling mode to pretty much just eat up anyone, to try to get anyone that's not on TikTok already to watch YouTube Shorts. But it's been 4 years, guys. Like you gotta. That's basically the point of this video. They gotta start pulling back at some point because it is hurting long form creators. And again, it didn't really matter the first couple. I mean, it did matter, but it's one thing for them to have done it the first like 2 years, 3 years, but as we're heading into the 4th year of YouTube Shorts and they're still pushing it on everyone this hard, it's like you got to rethink some of this. You know, like I said, if you want to do it for just the mobile app version of YouTube and push YouTube Shorts a lot, that makes a lot more sense. But depending on the device that I'm on, I shouldn't see as much YouTube Shorts. Now, I don't want to just complain that YouTube Shorts are like horrible. Well, they are. I do think that quality-wise, YouTube Shorts are by far worse than TikTok and Instagram Reels. I mean, Instagram Reels is a completely different topic, but there's a weird, like YouTube Shorts is actually, there's like a brain deadness to it that I can't really comprehend. I can't really describe with words. And maybe that just depends on the niche. But it's just like this weird ickiness. There's such a better word. I use your words, Drew. Use your words. But there's such a better way to describe it. Like just the community that watches YouTube Shorts is not the same as it is on TikTok. There's always these memes about how Instagram Reels, people watching short form content on Instagram Reels are just completely brutal. But you can't even. How do you even describe the YouTube short community? And of course, this is not all the time. It just depends on the topic, of course. But from my own dabbling in YouTube Shorts, and I have plenty of videos where I watch YouTube Shorts, they struggle. Again, not all of them, because a lot of people repurpose, including myself, a lot of people repurpose their content, their short form content for YouTube, Instagram Reels, and TikTok. I do that, but there's the things that you can only find on YouTube Shorts that you can't really find on Reels that are popular. They're real weird. I think that's the thing. I think that's the factor. When they're not just repurposed, that's what makes them. There's just really weird stuff that floats to the top, because I personally believe that out of the race between the big three, I'm not going to include Snapchat. Snapchat's kind of in a different world, but out of the big three, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube Shorts is losing this race, and I feel like that's a pretty common opinion. I feel like most people would agree with me on that. I think TikTok is going to be the winner. You know, you gave it the good old college try, YouTube. You gave it a shot to compete with TikTok. It's time to put it away here and take the L. If anyone's going to be able to compete, it's Instagram. And I'm not an Instagram like person. You know, there's all these people that were mad that Instagram pretty much kind of destroyed their own platform. If you look at Instagram like from 5 years ago, it's a completely different site than it is now. For better or for worse, it depends on what kind of creator you were. If you were making photo content, I'm sure you hate the new Reel stuff, but people kind of figured it out. In my opinion, Instagram probably has a better shot. They do have a better shot of competing with TikTok. Not necessarily saying that's a good thing or a bad thing, but they seem to be doing a little bit better. So I just think that, I'm hoping at some point, and part of the reason why I'm doing this video is I think they will eventually take this advice of reeling it back a little bit. Or, here's the whole other conspiracy that I've seen a lot of people talk about is and this is, and we're diving into some conspiracy stuff. I just want to say we're never going to know this information, but from what I've heard, YouTube and platforms in general, social media platforms, maybe Twitter as well. I don't know about Twitter, but they like the algorithmic content more because it's way easier to kind of control not only what you're seeing, even though YouTube is driven obviously very much by algorithms as well. There's still ways to see creators that you really want to see. Obviously, there's still a subscribe button. This is a incognito thing, so I'm not subscribed to anyone. Obviously, if I wanted to search for a certain type of creator myself, then boom, I can just pop up right there and see what's going on with these creators, Markiplier. However, when it comes to YouTube Shorts, have you noticed something? Because I've definitely noticed something. Some of my favorite YouTube Shorts just short form creators, I don't know their name. I have no idea what their name is because, and I don't even think it was necessarily by design. There are some people that believe that theory, that it was by design, but I think people just, it's very easy to not have a certain creator, and that way, the theory is that if a certain creator does something wrong, gets canceled, just becomes a liability. Think like PewDiePie in 2017 for the social media platform. Like TikTok's never going to have that problem because they did briefly. Who was that girl that was like the most famous TikToker? Now she's this is like a perfect example of exactly what I'm talking about, man. I don't even remember her name. Who was that girl with her sister? I don't even know. There was some famous girl that got to like 100 million followers super fast, and I was just watching something about how like she's nowhere near as big as she used to be. And that's because technically for these platforms, they're a lot safer if there isn't one face to the company. I mean, look at Vine. Vine literally died because there was just like a handful of creators at the top. They all left to YouTube, and then the whole thing just died. That's one example of why you don't want just a couple faces to be the face of your entire platform. The other example is, like the PewDiePie example. If your most famous creator gets canceled, then that's going to be a bad look for the entire website. And now TikTok's never really going to have that problem. Like who is the top TikTok creator? I don't know who it is. Like the technical number one. Maybe people know like the top three. Someone maybe you guys know the top three or the top five. I don't even think I can name someone in the top 10. Is it I don't know. Is it T-Series? Does T-Series have their own TikToks now? I have no idea. Maybe it's Mr. Beast. But so that leads into my theory about YouTube here, is that there is kind of an idea that, and here we go again with the YouTube Shorts. I mean, again, there's a sponsorship, and then we have a couple of videos. We've got 9 videos here, which are long form, and then boom, this massive shelf that now takes away the impression, unless I scrolled, but they take away this impression of pretty much everything that we would have seen. Boom, and all these other things. But so YouTube can kind of control who sees what even more so. They were already shifting towards that. 10 years ago, I've been on this platform for a really long time, technically since 2007. In the very, very, very beginning, it was a little, let's not say that the algorithm is super evil. The algorithm is good. I think algorithms, for the most part, are good at creating suggested videos and things like that. But in the very beginning of YouTube, like, there needed to be an algorithm, because in those days you really just could look at the trending page or search things. So you were never really finding new stuff unless you really tried to go find new stuff. And then I don't know when it was, like maybe 7 years ago, they changed it to where it was kind of more based on the algorithm. Your home page, especially on your YouTube mobile app, it would start suggesting things to you right when you opened up the app, videos that they think that you would like. I think that those were good features for the most part. It did significantly change YouTube forever, but that's just kind of how it goes. But with the shorts, they now have full complete control, because you don't even get to choose really what you're watching. You're just kind of scrolling, and the algorithm is choosing literally everything for you. And it's 100% that way, so they can easily just switch things off if they want. I mean, there's literal data that shows that for people that created new accounts on TikTok, if you've never had a TikTok before and you download the app right now and you make an account and you start uploading videos, you'll very likely have like one viral video, and that is to get you in the algorithm, to get you thinking that, oh, I'm going to become a creator, and you start making a bunch of videos, and then they turn that down a little bit. Now, of course, you can still find a way around that. Of course, there are still creators that manage to do it, but there's a very high chance you'll have at least one video go quote unquote viral. Viral could be like 10,000 views in this case, which is really nothing when it comes to the short form platform, because remember, views count when the video replays over. You know what I mean? Like when you watch a TikTok or YouTube short all the way through and it replays from the very beginning, that's 2 views. Which is a whole nother topic, to be honest, because YouTube is kind of ruined. Like, all the numbers don't matter anymore. That's another reason. I mean, there's no reason to really rant about this, because we've had YouTube Shorts for 4 years, and now the numbers are completely inflated and they don't mean anything anymore. Subscribers don't mean anything anymore. Views don't mean anything anymore. It sucks too, because like one of the things that I was very proud about, I was proud to have a long form channel that got over 1 million subscribers. But one thing I was even more proud about was that I had, was when I was inching closer and closer to 1 billion long form content views. I didn't hit 1 billion long form content views up until like recently, I believe. But I think I might still be at like 900 million. But I was really proud of that number, 900 million long form views. Again, I've been doing YouTube for a really long time. That was a cool statistic to me. But now with YouTube Shorts, views don't mean anything anymore. I keep my channel separated. Like, I don't have my shorts on my long form content. I create a channel just for shorts. We can argue if that was a good idea or a bad idea. I still stand by the decision for myself, but the problem is when you mix your long form content and your short form content, views don't mean anything anymore, and long form views still mean something, but you can't really look at that stuff. And like total views, whether it's total views or average views or monthly views, it's all skewed. So it just complicates things needlessly. I wish there was a more separate way. I mean, slowly YouTube's been getting better and better at, for instance, providing a shorts tab. For so long, there was not even a shorts tab. They just had all the videos in this tab. All your shorts and your long form videos in the videos tab. I don't know why it took them so long to get this out. Part of the thing too that a lot of creators, and luckily this is why I wanted to keep mine separate, I think Markiplier also didn't want to clearly do too many short form content, is because then you divide your audience. Audience are now being divided between if you subscribe to a channel for their short form content versus their long form content. This is a whole nother aspect of why YouTube Shorts is really hurting their platform, what they're known for, long form content. Because now if I'm a short form viewer and a short form subscriber, if I subscribe to a channel because I like their short form content, I'm not going to want to watch. The chances are I'm going to be much less likely to watch their long form stuff. There are crossover audiences. Of course, there's people that watch long form and short form of the same creator, but it's much less likely. Short form creators are learning this the hard way on TikTok, that because they can't get their audience, even if they have millions and millions of followers, they cannot get their audience to come watch their long form stuff on YouTube. But that's just kind of an example of why it's hurting YouTube, because okay, if you got all these new followers from your YouTube Shorts algorithm and all these new subscribers are subscribing because of your shorts, now when they see a long form video, whether they click on the video or not, it impacts your channel negatively. Because if I'm here only for the short form stuff and I see even an impression, remember I was talking about impressions? Even if I see this impression here, here's one of my shorts, even if this is an impression right here, and even if I scroll by that, think of that as like a really, really tiny like negative hit to the video. Technically, it's really, really small because impressions are supposed to, like the rate, your click-through rate, the amount of impressions you get total, and the actual amount of people that click on the video, it's supposed to be a drastically small fraction, like 3%, 4%, 5%. I mean, really good videos will have like 7%. But it does impact and it does hurt you algorithmically, your long-form content. So I can't even imagine if you have a channel that has like hundreds of thousands of short-form subscribers that subscribed because of your short-form content. If you have hundreds of thousands and you upload one long-form video, those hundreds of thousands are not there to watch your long form. So it's a bunch of people that are just like scrolling by your stuff. And those subscribers are your first people to your first viewers. YouTube is not going to push your new stuff out to new people unless your subscribers really consume that content. The first 24 hours are pretty much all subscribers. There's a little bit of, I shouldn't say all, but it's going to be the majority of your views in the first 24 hours on long-form content will be your own subscribers or frequent viewers. Really, really good videos that are really amazing, incredible, will get new viewers within the first 24 hours, like a pretty good percentage, but it still won't be the majority. The majority of people that watch in the first 24 hours are your subscribers and your frequent viewers. So if you have an audience full of only people that consume short form content, then your long form stuff is going to be put in front of them first. And when the algorithm sees, oh, look, these people aren't watching this long form video, the algorithm is going to negatively hit that video, and it's never even going to get a chance to be seen by newer people. There still will be slightly, but it's not really going to be given a chance after the first 24 hours to be pushed to new eyes. Typically, this is not always the case, but this is frequently the case, and this is still hurting people. At the end of the day, this is still hurting some of the long-form creators and the long-form content that's being out there. So, anyways, I talked about, this was a long rant. There's just a lot to discuss that I really wanted to add. I got to break down, again, I've been studying this stuff for a long time. This has literally been my job, my main source of income, my only source of income for years. So obviously there's a lot of information that I threw at you, but yeah, it's very clear that YouTube Shorts is hurting people, and there's a lot of options that YouTube can do, but all I'm saying is that right now they got to figure something out. They got to change some things around, whether it is to just reduce the amount of YouTube Shorts content in the desktop version. I don't even think that's really that big of a deal. Like, that shouldn't be that on the desktop and consoles too. YouTube, it's time to take the L. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not gonna beat TikTok. TikTok is very solidly in that they've got the audience. And this is kind of funny. I'm thinking of like a comparison between like the streaming platforms. Disney Plus slowly caught up. I mean, they jumped up fast to catch Netflix. If you look at the data now, they've pretty much stagnated, and Netflix continues to grow. And actually now, a couple years ago, everyone was talking about the death of Netflix. It's looking more and more like Netflix is going to be the solid winner here of the streaming wars. Like, they started first, they're the most recognizable. At the end of the day, sometimes that's all what matters. And I think that's that's very, very likely to be the case with TikTok. They're not going to get beat. So YouTube, accept the L. You gotta pull some things back here. I'm not saying delete YouTube Shorts. I still like using YouTube Shorts. I'm still gonna upload YouTube Shorts, but you gotta consider the long form content, which makes a majority of your money, because no one makes any money from YouTube Shorts. I mean, they tried to push that a year ago. They really tried to get more people to produce more Shorts content, exclusive Shorts content, because they were saying that, oh, look, we're gonna give you guys more money than TikTok, because it's not like all from one shared. Apparently, the way TikTok does it, I think they're changing it now, but they used to do it where they would be like, just imagine like a nice round number, a solid 100,000 $100 million allocated for the creator fund. And YouTube started doing that for a little bit, and then they started paying people in a different way, and they tried to really push that, like, hey, make content make content for our YouTube Shorts platform over TikTok because we're going to be paying you more. It's not that much more. It's really, I mean, we're getting paid. It's terrible. I don't think anyone does YouTube Shorts. Well, that's not true. I'm not sure anyone makes short form content exclusively to. If you're a long form creator, you're not making Shorts content necessarily because of the money. Maybe it's a nice little benefit, but you're very, very likely to not really care. You're just looking to maybe find a new audience and gain some new eyes that weren't there before. But anyways, long-winded rant. I just wanted to talk about this because I find this stuff interesting. Let me know what you think down below. See you next time.